Heritage Grimeton radio station. We are happy to welcome our audience here in the transmission hall. We are here to try to start up the transmitter SAQ, and we are all members of the Alexander Grimeton Friendship Association. My name is Anders Börjesson, and I will operate the alternator today together with my team. On my right side I have our radio operator Kai Sundberg, and then we have my operator Jan-Åke Gylling, our mentor and former chairman Jan Steinbach, who will make sure that we can get the machine running. On my left side I have Anders Törban, assistant today, and on his left side I have Fredrik Wiklund, assistant today and chairman of the association. I will start with a brief orientation of the facility. Everything which is painted in black belongs to the alternator. Down here we have the auxiliary machines, pumps, resistors, etc. Up here we have the relay corridor where the more signal gets into the machine. Up here we have the control panel from where we start up control and tunes the transmitter. There we have the great transmission unit where the radio waves are generated. And behind that we have the antenna modulator with the magnetic amplifier where the radio waves are amplified before going out on the antenna. We have done some preparations in advance. We have controlled all the machines, they are running well. The antenna is connected to the antenna modulator. We have turned on a Scott connected transformer outside on the field. This transformer converts 50 kilovolts three-phase voltage to 2.3 kilovolts two-phase into this station. The great motor in the transmission unit is a 500 horsepower asynchronous motor driven by that voltage 2.3 kilovolts. The motor is driving the rotor in the alternator via gearbox. And when the main motor reaches its operating speed, 711.3 revolutions per minute, the rotor will rotate with over 2,100 revolutions per minute and give a frequency of 17.2 kilohertz out into the antenna. The motor speed is directly related to the frequency, so mainly all of the equipment you see here are they are aimed to control the motor speed. Now we are prepared to start up and tune the alternator. And Jan-Åke is going to the emergency stop because we are handling high voltage. We are going to send the message at 14 o'clock Central European Summer Time. With this oil switch, I connect a transformer which converts 2.3 kilovolts two-phase to 440 volt three-phase, which is needed for the auxiliary machines. Then you can hear an alarm bell ringing. It's because we have no oil or water pressure. So Jan-Åke will turn off the alarm bell temporarily, and we are going down to start the cooling system. Okay, we have two pumps in the system. We are using pump number 1. It's a regulated centrifugal pump. And Jan-Åke will fill it up with city water. And he also opens a drainage pipe to get rid of the air in the pump house. When it's filled up, he will start the pump motor with a YD coupler. And now he is opening a pressure valve to get cooling water out to the resistors and to the transmission unit. It's the hard work of today because he has to turn the valve 25 turns against the water pressure. The water pressure is slowly rising, which you can see on the manometer on the wall. Okay, the cooling system is running, and we are passing two variable liquid resistor on the way back, and Jan-Åke will check the liquid level. It gets hot, especially in the summertime, and some of the water evaporates. So sometimes we have to add a little. There are two liquid resistors, one start resistor and one control resistor. The start resistor is limiting the initial current to the main motor, and the control resistor holds the motor speed constant when we are operating the Morse key. They are both connected to the main motor, but in different ways. Now we are at the relay corridor, and here Jan-Åke will start the pumps, circulating pumps in the resistors. He wears a pair of protective gloves because here we have 440 volts on open contacts. The facility is built according to the safety standards in the 1920s. These wooden pieces will be released and fall down when we start the main motor. So these are the modern technique of the 1920s. Now we are back at the control panel, and we add the alarm bell again. We have an alarm because we have no oil pressure in the system, and to solve that we start an auxiliary oil pump. Now that provides oil pressure to the alternator bearings and to the gearbox. Now we are prepared to start the transmission unit, and Jan-Åke is back on the emergency stop. To protect the main motor, the initial current is limited by transductors on line with the power supply, and we also have high resistance on the rotor. Now the motor is running, slowly start to rotate because we are having high masses to be started up. Only the rotor in the alternator weighs about 1,500 kilograms. The start up current in the motor is about 250 amps, which we can see on the ammeter on the top of the panel here. We are now waiting for the internal oil pump in the transmission unit to handle the lubrication, and we can stop the auxiliary oil pump. We are also waiting for the motor to rev up and that the motor current will go down to 100 amps. Then we will go on and start two rectifiers, rotating converters, one which gives 125 and 250 volt DC, and the other gives 500 volt DC. This voltage is needed to control the transmitter. Now we have about 130 amps, so we are still waiting to start up the rectifiers. Okay. You can turn on the rectifiers now. Yes, both. Yep. Then now your knob is going to the other side of the panel and close a switch with 500 volt DC to the transductors so they can give full voltage to the motor, 2.3 kilowatts. At 700 revolutions per minute, he close next knife 250 volt to magnetize the generator. They also started a control system with feedback, which controls the motor speed automatically. We can see on the gauge here that the automatic speed control system is working. Here on top of the panel we have an instrument, and I can see we have 17,195 hertz on the generator. Our goal is 7.2 kilohertz. Good luck. I think you shall. We are satisfied, and we let it stabilize there. You can go and put on the big fan. So Jan-Åke now is turning on a cooling fan, which is it's used to cool and blow out sparks on the contactors that is in the relay corridor there. They are a part of the speed control system, and one of them works in line with Morse key to maintain the motor speed. Now, now we have to control the frequency, and it has been a little lower, so now we are using the start resistor to tune the frequency. It's a pity that you can't see, perhaps you can see it on the... I think just now we have 17.18 kilohertz, and I think we should be satisfied. And we will switch on the antenna now and get the transmitter connected to the antenna. Now you can use the test of... we'll wait a little here to get it up to 17, 18. Jag stannar. Morse key. Va? Ja, just det, lite grann, ja. Ja. Okej. Då stänger switch off. Så, ja. Är det okej? Får jag prata? Ja, vi väntar då. Vi väntar lite grann. ska vi slå över på listan? Nu gör ni det. Okay, thank you, Kai. That was the message from us here at Grimeton radio station this Alexander Sunday. The day that we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the foundation of the Alexander Association and the nomination of the Grimeton radio station as a listed building. I think you have read the message on the picture. Otherwise, you can read the complete message again on our website. They are going to control the transmitter a little. We had some problem to get the right frequency. So the turn down on the machinery will take a little longer time. We will have to wait a little. In the meantime, I can tell you a little about our association. It was formed in 1996. Okay. Mainly due to a threat of demolition of this building and old transmitter from 1924 that was still functioning. Those who formed the association was mainly former employees, but also people, local people who had interest in the facility. They wanted to form a lobby association, so the nice environments and transmitter would be preserved for the future. And they really did a fine job. Already in 1996, the building here was nominated as national building, as we heard. And the next year, in 1997, it was nominated as the whole site was nominated for industrial heritage. And that was 2 steps towards the World Heritage, which they managed in 2004. So it has been included on the UNESCO's World Heritage list since. Watching our transmission this special Alexander Day, and we hope that you enjoyed our startup of the alternator and the transmission, and that you have heard our Morse coded message. Well, and I will thank my team for a good job and for a nice day here. And of course,